When you wake up each morning, before the world begins to rush around you, whisper to yourself, God is with me, and I am never alone. Let this be the first truth that touches your heart. There are moments in life when everything feels uncertain, when the road ahead looks dark, when you feel forgotten, or when your prayers seem unanswered. But even in those quiet, lonely moments, God's presence surrounds you like the air you breathe. You may not always feel it, but faith is not about feeling, it is about knowing. It is the assurance that the Creator of heaven and earth is walking beside you through every joy and every trial. When we understand that God is always with us, fear begins to lose its power. Worry starts to fade because we are reminded that we are held by divine hands. Think of how many times God has carried you through storms you thought would break you. Every time you fell, He lifted you. Every time you cried, He heard you. Every time you doubted, He waited patiently for your heart to trust again. His presence is not limited to church walls or sacred spaces. It follows you into your home, your work, your struggles, and your dreams. When you start your day with the assurance of His companionship, you begin to walk differently. You speak with kindness, act with confidence, and live with peace. Because deep down, you know that no matter what the world throws at you, you are never facing it alone. The God who formed the stars has chosen to dwell within you, and when God is with you, you have everything you need: strength, courage, and the promise that every step you take is guided by His love. Each morning, before you let the noise of the world fill your mind, take a deep breath and say to yourself, "Today, I choose peace over worry." This simple line carries great power because it reminds your soul that peace is not something you wait for, it is something you choose. Every day brings new challenges, unexpected changes, and moments that test your patience and faith. Worry tries to creep into your heart, whispering fears about the future, but when you choose peace, you silence those voices and allow God to take control. Peace is not the absence of problems, it is the presence of trust. When you trust that God is working in every detail of your life, you no longer need to carry the heavy burden of trying to control everything. You can rest in the truth that He already knows your needs, your struggles, and your desires. The gospel teaches us not to be anxious about tomorrow, because tomorrow will take care of itself. God is already there preparing the way for you. All He asks is that you live this day fully, faithfully, and peacefully. When you wake up and consciously choose peace, you start to notice how differently your heart responds to the world. Instead of reacting with fear, you respond with faith. Instead of complaining, you begin to thank God for His presence. The storms outside may continue to rage, but inside your spirit remains calm. That calmness is the mark of a soul rooted in divine trust. So each morning when the worries of the day try to rise within you, remind yourself again and again, peace is my choice and God is my keeper. With Him no worry can win and no fear can stay. Each morning, as you open your eyes to a new day, let your first thought be, I am blessed beyond measure. It's easy to overlook the countless blessings we have because we get caught up in what's missing or what we still wish for. But when you pause and truly reflect, you realize that your life is surrounded by God's goodness in ways both seen and unseen. The gift of waking up, of breathing freely, of seeing a new sunrise, these are blessings we often take for granted. Gratitude is the doorway through which peace and joy enter your heart, and it begins by recognizing how richly God has already blessed you. When you start your day with gratitude, your entire outlook changes. Problems may still exist, but they no longer control you. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, you begin to see what's right. You start to appreciate the people around you, the opportunities before you, and the simple joys that brighten your path. Gratitude opens your eyes to the miracles in ordinary moments. A smile from a stranger, a kind word, a meal on your table, or the quiet strength that carries you through difficult days. Each of these is a sign of God's faithful love. Saying I am blessed beyond measure is not just about counting material things, it's about recognizing the presence of God in your life. His grace sustains you, His mercy renews you, and His love surrounds you at every step. When you walk in awareness of your blessings, you carry a light that touches others. A grateful heart doesn't complain, it worships. It sees abundance where others see lack and finds hope where others see despair. And that truly is living as one who knows they are blessed beyond measure. Each morning when you wake up, gently speak these words to yourself, I forgive and I am forgiven. These words carry healing power because they remind your soul that mercy flows both ways, from God to you, and from you to others. Forgiveness is not always easy, sometimes the wounds are deep and the memories painful. But holding on to anger or guilt only chains the heart. When you choose forgiveness, you choose freedom. It's not about forgetting what happened, but about releasing its hold over your spirit so that peace can enter once again. Every day is a new opportunity to let go of what weighs you down. Maybe someone hurt you, spoke against you, or broke your trust, or perhaps you are the one who struggles to forgive yourself for past mistakes. But God's mercy is new every morning, and He never tires of forgiving those who come to Him with a sincere heart. When you whisper, "I forgive and I am forgiven," you are opening your heart to that mercy, allowing it to wash away resentment, regret, and guilt. Forgiveness is an act of strength, not weakness. It takes courage to love when you have been wronged and humility to admit your own faults, but each time you forgive, you reflect the heart of Christ, who prayed for those who crucified Him. When you release bitterness, your soul becomes lighter, your prayers flow more freely, and your relationship with God deepens. You cannot walk fully in grace while holding on to anger, so each morning, choose mercy. Forgive others, forgive yourself, and let God's love restore your peace. The one who forgives lives unchained, and the one who receives forgiveness lives renewed in divine grace. You said expand key point 5 into 300 words without heading and conclusion. ChatGPT said when you rise in the morning, place your hand over your heart and say, "I will walk today with love." These simple words carry the essence of what it means to live as a child of God. Love is not just an emotion, it is a way of life, a divine calling that transforms ordinary moments into sacred acts. When you decide to walk in love, you allow God to work through you. Your words become gentler, your actions kinder, and your presence becomes a source of comfort and light to others. Love is the language that speaks louder than sermons and reaches hearts that words cannot. To walk in love means to see people not as they are, but as God sees them. It means to be patient when others are difficult, to show kindness even when it's not returned, and to offer compassion instead of judgment. Love doesn't always come easily, especially when life tests your patience or when people hurt you. But love is a choice, one that mirrors the heart of Christ. When you love even in pain, you reflect His sacrifice on the cross, the greatest act of love ever known. Each day will bring chances to love in small and big ways. A smile to a stranger, a word of encouragement, a helping hand to someone in need. These are not small things in the eyes of God, they are acts of worship. When you walk in love, you carry God's light wherever you go. You become a living reminder of His presence in a world that often forgets it. So as you begin your day, let love be your path, your purpose, and your prayer. For to walk in love is to walk with God Himself. Every morning after you've spoken words of faith and peace to yourself, remind your heart of one more truth. Today, I will live with purpose. Life is not meant to be lived on autopilot, drifting from one day to the next. God has placed within you a divine purpose, something only you can fulfill. When you wake up and decide to live intentionally, you invite meaning into every moment. You stop existing and start truly living. Purpose gives direction to your energy, clarity to your choices, and strength to your spirit. Living with purpose means asking yourself each morning, "Lord, what would you have me do today?" It doesn't always mean grand achievements or big miracles. Sometimes your purpose is found in small acts, comforting someone in pain, showing kindness to a stranger, or giving your best in the tasks before you. Every action, when done with love and faith, becomes a holy offering. When you live with purpose, you align your heart with God's will, and your steps begin to follow His divine path. Many people spend their lives searching for meaning in wealth, recognition, or success, but true purpose comes from serving God and others. It is born from love, shaped by faith, and strengthened through perseverance. Even on difficult days when your path feels uncertain, purpose keeps you moving forward. It reminds you that your life has value and your presence has meaning. So as you rise each morning, lift your eyes to heaven and whisper, "Lord, let my life today reflect your plan." Live with intention, walk with faith, and trust that every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the purpose for which you were created.